Welcome to another episode of Super Admin's Hangout. This is where we inspire you with stories from super admins and empower you with productivity and career tips, tools, and tricks, as well as strategies that will help you thrive and excel in your career. My name is Becca, and I'm your Hangout host. Super Admin Hangout is powered by Office Habit Training and Consulting Limited and supported by the network of administrative professionals of Ghana. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I will encourage you to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that anytime we upload a new video, you will get the notification. Today, I'm super excited to be hanging out with a renowned virtual assistant business owner by name Mavis Saforwah Aggrey. So for those of you who are interested in venturing into the virtual assistant business, this is really for you, and I believe you're going to learn a lot. Okay, so let's jump right into the conversation with Mavis.
Peace. How are you doing?
Hi, Rebecca. I'm fine. Thank you. Yourself?
I'm blessed. Thank you. I'm so excited to have you today. And I believe we are going to have a wonderful conversation. So let's just jump in. Kind of tell us how you started your career to where you are now, briefly.
Okay. So let me just say that some people will have a clear-cut career, path for them and everything, but I would say that it was not like that for me. It was more like trial and error, honestly. Okay. And I have worked in marketing. I have worked as a general manager. I have worked as I've worked as an admin assistant. Mm. I have done I have tried almost everything to make sure that I'm comfortable and happy with what I have to do. So I wouldn't say it was a career journey. It was just a survival journey.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I believe that's what has even brought you to where you find yourself now. So it's
absolutely.
Yeah, I believe when you start connecting the dots, you realize why you are where you are now. So
it's hard.
It's a journey. You needed to go through that to get to where you are. So we'll call it a journey. It's not the same.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were first working in corporates, and then you decided to set up your own virtual assistant business. And if you can tell us how the experience was when you were working in corporates.
Okay. So let me start from when I started with my national service. Okay. That was not my very first experience with corporate anyway, because whilst I was going to school, I was still working in an IT firm as an IT assistant. But my very, very, very first experience when it comes to working in corporate was when I was doing my national service. I was working with a security firm, and it was a very organized organization. They did their things, like how every corporate organization is supposed to do. So they gave me some sort of experience. How do I describe it? Like, they gave me some kind of exposure. That's the word. Okay. Exposure. And aside being on the marketing team, they also gave me the liberty to be able to, have interactions with their customers. Okay. So I was also kind of doubling as a customer service agent. Mm-hmm. So I was helping the marketing team with the marketing, and then I was also doing follow-ups with clients and trying to get them to, purchase from us and all that. So from my experience, it's not, I wouldn't say it's anything different from what I'm doing now.
Okay.
It's practically the same thing, but more of a physical presence kind of difference. I have to be physically in the office. Mm-hmm. I have to wake up early in the morning, catch my trotro, get to the office, set up myself, get ready to work, reports, all those things. So yeah, my experience with corporate has not been a very bad one. I actually enjoyed being there the same way I'm enjoying working for myself. Yeah.
Great. So it looks like sometimes you miss there, right?
Oh yes, definitely. I miss it sometimes.
Working with colleagues instead of finding yourself alone in your house.
Yeah. When colleagues get to receiving some blastings from your bosses.
It all goes a long way to make it exciting.
Yes.
Interesting, human beings. When you're in the soup, you want to jump out, but once you
you're out of it, to get back in.
Great, wonderful. Okay, so what did you find most challenging about your role in corporate?
Okay, so it was mostly working under people, being supervised by people. I realized that a lot of people do micromanaging. Yeah. So instead of giving you the task and allowing you to do it and supervise from a distance, they are always on you.
Okay.
Checking what you're doing, giving instructions, confusing you sometimes. Let me put it that way. and so it was a challenge for me because I'm a creative person, and sometimes I like to do things that I know that, okay, if we've been doing it this way, this is the normal way everybody knows, but what if we try it this other way?
Yeah.
Some bosses tend to be pretty rigid. When they know it's A, B, C, all they want is A, B, C. They don't want any other thing. So that's one challenge. And another challenge was there was an organization I worked in. I don't want to mention the name.
Okay.
But it's a government organization. Okay. So yeah. And one of the challenges that I encountered there was the fact that I was a woman in a male-dominated field. Okay. They gave me a whole chapter to manage, and it looks like some people were not too excited about it. And others also took advantage of it. They felt that, okay, I probably might have done something to get it. So they were also pushing their luck, trying to, So it was a challenge for me. And for there, I would say that I was there for less than a year because I couldn't stand it anymore. The men there were not giving me the peace of mind to do my job. And I felt I had to leave. So that's another challenge. And the third one I would say is annoying colleagues. Over here, I'm just sitting down here quietly with my radio and I'm doing my job, sometimes when I'm tired, I even go and lie on my bed and then finish off my tasks. But back in the office, we have colleagues also can be very annoying. I mean, you work in corporate, so you understand what I'm saying. Some people just annoy you for annoying sake, and especially when you are their supervisor and you have to, delegate jobs to them. It becomes a struggle. And I didn't like that at all. Here, I have control. I do it once, yes. Yeah, so these are the challenges that I had, with my experience in corporate.
Awesome. I believe, now you are even safe from distractions. You don't have to imagine to interrupt your work.
except for one person.
Oh, okay, great. And I know who that person is. Anyway, so what did you find exciting? If you look at the challenges, what was most exciting about you?
Excitement. Yeah, when it comes to working in corporate, with the fact that I have to wake up every morning and you don't even know what's going to happen as you are stepping into the office, you just pray, commit yourself into the hands of God, and you enter your office. It's a whole drama. From morning to the time you leave the office, it's just a whole drama. So, it's an exciting experience. I wouldn't say that what I'm doing here is more routine. It's also exciting in its own way, but I mean, going out of your way, even the journey from your home to the office, all the things you will see before you reach there is another thing. So, yeah.
Interesting. I kind of agree with you, because I realized when I also came home, during the peak of the COVID season last year to work from home, then I also started missing, the journey to work, but it was something that I actually hated. I was always praying that I'll be able to work from home, and then I got the chance to work from home, and then I realized, anyway, there are some interesting things too about, commuting to work sometimes.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just wish you wouldn't do it, so that you have more time to do your work and even personal stuff. Anyway, okay. So now, why did you decide to ditch corporate to start your own virtual assistant business?
I would say freedom.
Okay.
Freedom. Freedom, because I'm not going to say that I felt stuck, or I felt like, I was being suppressed or anything, but I wanted to be able to control my own time.
Okay.
I wanted to be able to have time for myself, have time for my family. Sometimes when it comes to working in corporate, so even when you're sick, you can't even call in sick, because probably last week you were sick, so now you're sick again, and you have to go to work. Sometimes let me be honest here. There are some days you are working in the office, that you're tired. Look, there's nothing productive is happening, but you still have to stay. Over here, I can decide that I can work 12 hours in a day. I can also decide to work 5 hours in a day.
Okay.
I can even decide to work 2 hours in a day, depending on what I have done prior. Okay. So I have control over my time and how I want to. And if when I'm working and I'm tired and I know that I'm feeling sleepy, I will stop and take a nap. And after that nap, trust me, I'm more productive than any person in the world. But in the office, you can't do things like that. It's kind of so yeah, I'll say freedom to control my time, freedom to be able to have time for myself, have time for any other thing I want to do other than just be a worker. I can take holidays now.
I totally agree with you, because it's all about freedom, being able to control your time, as you are saying, because you decide when you work, you decide when you stop working and all that, and then when you need to take a break and all that. But then in corporate, as you said, even to get a day off, you have to go through a process, and sometimes it becomes a bit cumbersome for you. But now you are on your own, you decide when to do things.
Very true.
I think we've touched on the next question that I was going to ask you. We've touched on it a bit, but let me ask you all the same, and let's see if you're going to share with us something different. So what do you find different about being self-employed virtual assistant versus being an assistant in corporate?
Okay. I mentioned before that it's not that different. There are just a few differences. The fact that, okay, when it comes to working in corporate, okay, you're working for just one company or one boss, all right? You're working, you literally can't do anything else. They will say conflict of interest.
Yeah.
Isn't it? But when it comes to working as a virtual assistant, because I am a third-party contractor, I can work for different companies, different industries, and it will not have anything here. That's one thing I like to do. And I also realized that, okay, so I'm sitting down at one place, giving all my knowledge, doing one thing, sometimes just one task, one role. If they say you are an admin assistant, that's all you can do. You can't jump and go and do the job for marketing. You can't jump and go and do anything for HR and all that. You are an admin assistant. That's what you have to do. But when it comes to working as a virtual assistant, because there are so many aspects of it, you can do a lot of things. So long as you have the skill, you have the knowledge, you can do it. I work as a marketer here on social media. I help people with their marketing. I do the administrative tasks. I help with projects. I help with events. So long as I know I have the capability to be able to offer it, I offer it. I'm not saying that. I mean, when you go to some organization, they allow you to diverse. Okay, they allow you to be able to input your productivity, but it's not everywhere. We all know that. It's not everywhere. So yeah, and even starting my virtual assistant business, I've been able to learn how to do graphic design. I'm not a graphic designer. That's not my that is not my superpower, but I've been able to learn it thanks to my husband.
Hey, wonderful. I know your husband is a graphic designer, so you have a very good combination, right?
Yeah. So I'm able to learn, I'm able to, do a lot of things when it comes to working as a VA as compared to working in corporate. And then, of course, the solitude. I always say that a virtual assistant is good for people who like being indoors or introverts.
Okay.
I am not an introvert.
Okay.
I am not an introvert way. But I mean, as I'm here, I still get to interact with my clients. I still get to interact with people via social media. I still have my fun with personal and people interactions. But for someone who find that difficult, working as a VA is one of the best options that they can go for. You don't want to be disturbed. You just want to have your peace of mind and do your job. You just sit here peacefully and work. No one will come and interrupt. No one will come and no one will come and say, "Oh, please stop this one and do this one for me. Oh, please will you do?" No. You have your peace of mind and you be able to work. Yeah, that's another difference. And then I mean, working as a VA means that you can control your own finances. No one has come to tell you that I'm paying you 2,000 and that's it. They won't even add one city. Wow. Over here, you're able to determine how much you want to be paid. Wow. If you say you want to earn 5,000 at the end of the month, then yes, you have to work for it. You have to get your clients. If having 4 or 5 clients is what is going to make you get your targets, what's it called, income, then you go ahead and you find those 5 clients for yourself. So you determine how much you earn. Some people go as higher as 10,000. So I just like the fact that you be able to control your cash inflow, whereas when it comes to work corporate, someone determines your salary, someone determines your worth, someone tells you, look, you're worth 1,000 and that's all I'm going to give you. Even if you work a whole 4 or 5 years before they increase it, you'll be shocked they're just going to add 100.
Yeah, I like that.
All that, all that experience you've gathered for a whole 5 years, then they'll add 100 to your salary. It's quite so these are some of the few differences when it comes.
Interesting. This is wonderful. I haven't even thought about that. So not only do you have freedom over your time and then being able to you being flexible to work for multiple organizations, you also have command over the amount of money that you earn. Nobody decides your salary. You determine your salary.
Before I quit my job to work full-time on my VA, I was working for some clients for I think 3 months before I stopped. Okay. And from 2 clients that I was working for at that time, I was earning more than 3 times how much I was being paid. Wow. So I just sat down one day, like, look, I come to sit here from 8 a.m. all the way to 5 p.m. Sometimes I go as late as 9 p.m. because yes, boss has not closed, so you can't also close. Yeah. And I'm like, I work just 2 hours in a day for someone and I'm earning more, like 3 times the amount this person is paying me a month. And I felt it was not even fair for myself. I wasn't being fair to myself.
Yeah, so. Of course. I mean, if you look at the number of hours that you have to spend on a job, and then the commute, the hours you've been, spend in commute.
The car. Go home. Oh my goodness.
Sit in traffic, especially in our country, Ghana here. All those hours you have to spend, and then compared to you being on your own and then being paid more than what you're earning. And I mean, obviously, if you look at it that way, then it doesn't make sense for you to.
It does not. Yeah. It does not.
That's why. Especially when with this one, you have command over your working hours. You decide whether to start working at dawn or late in the evening.
Yeah. You decide when you want to start. And the good thing even about it is that in your contract with your clients, you can go ahead and tell your client, look, I'm only going to work 2 hours in a day for you between this time and that time. So they know that if they send you a message, let's say you give them, you're working for them between 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. They know that they can only send you messages and ask or give you texts and all those things within that time. When that time passes, when you ask me, Mavis, can you help me with this? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm doing this and this for this person. So give me the next 2-3 hours. I'll get back to you. You're able to, tell them. Unlike when you're working for someone, if they tell you to, you have to do this, you have to do it. There's nothing even if you're busy doing something else, you still eventually, has to do it.
Even if work is over and then you are being asked to do something, you can't say, boss, I've closed for the day.
like how my boss would say that, look, we have a meeting. He said a client cannot come during the working hours. So when they close from their 5 p.m., they'll now come to our office for a meeting. So at 5 p.m. I've closed though, but I still have to stay, wait. Sometimes I end up going home like 10, 11. I'm like,
oh my goodness, wow. Interesting.
And the next morning I have to wake up and come to work. He won't even say, oh, because you went home late, take an hour or 2 hours off in the morning.
It doesn't happen.
It doesn't.
From what you are sharing with us, I believe you really are enjoying the work that you are doing now, seriously. And so how is the demand for virtual assistants in Ghana? Do you think there's high demand for virtual assistants in Ghana?
So to answer that question, let me just say that people that want to be virtual assistants in Ghana are looking for is it ready-made? Can I use that word? Ready-made. So the moment they start, they say that, oh, I'm a virtual assistant, they're expecting the clients to flow. They don't want to do the marketing, they don't want to do the networking, they don't want to do the social media. They just want the client to come. It does not work like that. There is demand. There is demand because there are sometimes clients do come to me for jobs and then maybe for that month I'm fully booked. So I have to recommend them to some of the people that I have trained and all that. But the demand is there, but you still have to work to get your clients. For example, if you go to the market women, they know we are there to buy stuff anyway, but they will still call you. They will still say, oh, they will still try to interact with you so that you come and buy. They're not just sitting there waiting for you to come. Even though they know you are holding your basket or your poly bag, you're there to shop. They will still approach you. When you go to Medina, something annoying they always do, they will actually grab you. They'll grab you, they'll hold your hand, tell you to come and look at their item. Even though I don't like it, but I think they're also doing their marketing. So even though the demand is there, I always tell people that being anything at all, running any business at all, you can't just sit down and expect it to happen. I once got someone who wanted to train as a VA, and when she finished the course, the question she asked me was, so when am I getting my first client? I was just quiet for a few minutes on the phone. and I'm like, what do you mean? It was like, oh, I thought that by the time you finish, you have ready clients for us. I was like, oh, okay. If you want that kind of thing, then you can go online. There are so many platforms you can register. Even though I don't trust them. I'd rather do my own marketing and get my own clients rather than I get a client through a third party platform. So I was like, oh, I always recommend. I was like, oh, you go here. I don't trust them because I've done it before, and believe you me, my money never came. So you can go there and then try it, but I would not advise. So if you try and use the marketing strategies that I'm showing you, you are going to get your clients. It might take a while, because even for me, it took a while. It took months before I got my first. It took work, but the demand is there. And another thing to add to that is that even though the demand is there, I feel Ghanaians don't know how to work with VAs.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. I know. It's a challenge. I'm trying to to solve it. But it's difficult. People get angry when Ghanaians are compared to other countries, people from other. But that's the truth. Ghanaians act so differently from people from other countries. And why do I say this? Working with a Ghanaian clients and working with people from other countries, I am doing both. Yeah. And I know how difficult it is to work with a Ghanaian. Even providing you with information about their own business so that you can use to help them becomes a problem. Yeah. Okay. I have an onboarding process. So when you come, I do a discovery call with you. We have a conversation. I get to know about your business, but it's kind of difficult to pull information. It's like they don't even know their own business. Yeah. So you ask them about something like, someone came to me, for example, asking me to help them with their social media. I asked for brand colors, I asked for logos. I just do it. Just add anything. I was like, oh.
How does that work?
How does that work? That means that logo has her own company. Her own company. I had to come up with colors and all that. Colors. And after I suggested the colors, she's not coming saying, no, I like pink. I like, But when someone, let me just use someone from America. When someone from America comes, even if their logo is not ready and they want you to create, they know what colors they want their company to go for. They know what their company stands for. They know who they are targeting. Like, they know all these basic things when it comes to running a business. So you are Ghanaian, you've been running your business for about a year and you still don't know any information about your own business. So sometimes I ask them like, oh, okay, so do you have like, let's say a framework? I don't want to even use business plan because when you say business plan, they think of some difficult document. It can even be a one page. People don't understand. Like, so what's the framework? Like, what research did you do, or what idea did you have, and what brought you to the conclusion that you want to run this business? That's another challenge. They don't even know. So it becomes a bit of, they know they need the help. Yeah. How to let you help them becomes a problem. Okay. Some people too, they know the tax that they want to give you. They will come and give you 5. Okay. Then you draw the contract. You give them the fee. Then as you're going on, you realize that you're doing 10.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah. They're trying to play smart with you. When I realize that and I tell them about it, the first thing is they get offended. Yeah. And most of the time I tell them about it, not even to increase the price for them, but to let them be aware that, you mentioned that we're going to do this and this and this, but now I realize that I'm doing this and this and this. So should I revise the contract and add those tax to it? Yeah. Very simple, very easy to answer, but they always get offended. And another thing about our Ghanaian markets is that they come to steal your ideas. Wow. Okay, so someone will hire you for, let's say, a month. They get you to do all the hard work, the documentations. If you're doing social media, they get you to do templates. All those things, strategies, and all those things. Now, the moment they have it in their possession, they won't even be straight with you to say that, oh, I want us to end the contract. Then they'll start doing comme ça. Today you call them, don't mind you. Wow. And all that. Then you realize that, oh, okay, this person doesn't want to work with me anymore. Then we try and then end it. So it's a difficult market for us here. But if you're lucky to land one of the great customers from Ghana, then it's also good because one, you're in the same market, you understand your own demography and all that, so you'll be able to work properly. And so my Ghanaians there, you still there.
Yeah.
You're still trying to figure out our balance.
I can understand. It's not just with virtual assistants. It's like it's with other things too. My sister actually runs domestic staff agency where she recruits domestic staff, and then sometimes she wants to get the job description done so that the person, they are engaging us to know exactly what they are going to do. They will spell it out, and then later You know, when
be
you
doing
go to do
something else.
assessment, then you go and find out other things, and then they tell you, but this is nothing. I mean, that one is not work. But I mean, I think the agreement is spell out everything that you want the person to do on the onset, so that there are no surprises, and then eventually when the person is fed up, the person leaves you, and then you think you didn't hire the right person. But I mean, on the onset, you didn't do the agreement well. You should have spelled out what responsibilities the person was going to carry. So I believe it's in other areas too. And
well, we are wonderful people, so
we need to educate ourselves on some of these things. I think it's just a matter of people taking things for granted. You know, they don't know that you are spending time doing those extra work that you could have done for somebody else to earn an extra income. You know.
I once told somebody that I mean, if I have my clients, we work for a long time, and then maybe some month you tell me that, I should give you some time to make payments. I'm like, okay. One, they won't tell you anything. And when you try to push for payment, they'll be like, you're disturbing them, you're worrying them. So I once told a client that, you do realize that this is my full-time job, and this is what pays my bill.
Yeah.
So if you know you're going to do it, at least give me a heads up.
Yeah.
You know, because I plan according to my cash inflow. So give me a heads up so that I can plan my expenses very well.
Yeah.
She was just all over the place.
you know, they don't get it.
And all that time she was delaying payments, and she wasn't saying anything to me. I was still working. Wow. I was still doing my job. It's not bad stuff. I was still doing it, but I realized that she just wants to disrespect me.
Yeah.
Then I pull back on what I had to do. So sometimes they make us look like the bad people. They make businesses look like we are the ones who are not doing it well, and that they are the customers and they are always right. I like that statement very well. It's always their defense. It's always their customer is always right.
Yeah,
so,
it's never true. It's not all the time that customers are right anyway. If your customer is abusing you,
it's not even part of my statement, because we had a contract from the get-go. So if I am doing something that is out of the contract, then you can tell me the customer is always right. But if I'm doing my part of it and you are doing something else outside of the contract should go to if you end up at the court. This is what we said we are doing. This has nothing to do with it.
Interesting. Wow. Yeah. You know, I think I saw a post somewhere on LinkedIn. There was this virtual assistant who wrote that, you know, one exciting thing about being a virtual assistant is that you can actually fire your client.
Oh yeah. I have not said that yet. Oh my goodness, I fire them all the time. I fire you. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And in a very nice short email. Be fired.
I'm sorry, I can't work with you any longer.
Yeah.
Interesting. Maybe I know you've touched on some of the challenges that virtual assistants or assisting business owners face, but I don't know if there are other ones we haven't touched on.
Oh, basically, these are the main challenges. If there are any other challenges, it might be peculiar to maybe a certain type of virtual assistant. General overview, these are the main ones that usually people deal with. And I don't want to mention fraud, because if you do your due diligence, if you do your assessment of the client, as you said, you can fire your client. So if the same before you onboard them, I always want to have that meeting, that discovery meeting with you. Sometimes at the get-go, I will tell you, I can't work with you.
Yeah.
I need to get, I need to know that's okay. Working with you is going to be, I need to, and the energy, the vibe, it has to be there. So from the get-go, you'll be able to tell that this person is not going to be a great client. But if you still go ahead and push it, and then they end up not paying you for your job or something like that, then I would say that maybe you didn't pay attention to it. So my partner here will always say that the moment people come with their graphic design jobs and they start with, oh, and my graphic designer was not good, my graphic designer was this. The moment they start complaining about the graphic designer, he knows there's a problem with the client, not the graphic designer. Because, and always, every time he says something like that, I'm like, oh, let's give this person the benefits of the doubt and do the work. But he will go like, I told you so, you know. So you will do your part of the work, and then they will start misbehaving. That they don't pay you, they'll tell you they'll pay you later, and then they are gone, they are vanished. You won't even see them. I said, now a big company, I don't want to mention their name, they still owe us for graphic design that they didn't pay for. So it's So in this case, I'll say it's fraud, because we've done the job, we've delivered, and it was but the invoice was sent, you know, as an annoying part. An invoice was sent and it was never paid. So I mean, fraud can also be one. And if you're someone who is interested in all these third-party websites, then I'll also say be careful, because that's where all the virtual assistant fraud happens. Okay. For someone you yourself, you've done your marketing, networked with, and onboarded as a client, will usually not do that to you. It's those people from these third party. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. On Clubhouse, when I go there and people are having their what's it called? They are having their rooms on Clubhouse and they are telling about their experiences. Most of them, I'll say 80% of them comes from these third-party websites. Okay, and so I'll say people should be careful when they are trying to, you know, get their clients from there. Otherwise, I mean, it's pretty good. It's good. It's not
great.
Yeah.
What about power, internet? Is it a challenge or?
Okay. So that challenge, I'm over it.
Okay, so now you don't see it as a challenge anymore. Anyway, I mean, when it comes to internet, there are alternatives. So you just have to get different networks, I presume. Okay, and then maybe if it's about power, then what, you have to have a standby generator.
Yes, you find yourself a small generator. You guess that can power at least your what's it called, your laptop or your computer, and then you are good to go. For me, we have what's it called? I can mostly do my work on my phone, right? I have two phones. You realize I pick one phone and one also with to talk to you.
Okay.
I have my power banks.
Oh my goodness. You are well equipped.
Oh my goodness. I know these people very well. So they are there. The moment the light goes off, my phone is going on low battery, I just plug it and then I'm good to go. But you know, if you live in a country like Ghana, you just need to, you know, find yourself alternatives. So I have my MTN, I have Vodafone, I have Tigo, I have whatever.
Interesting. Wow.
I'm over that.
I'm so happy you I mean you are well experienced enough to know that some of these challenges, there's a way of overcoming them. So
there's a way of overcoming.
You don't wait for them to happen.
And you know, if you have your laptop, okay. If it's not what's it called, a desktop computer and it's a laptop, when the light goes off and you don't have any alternative, you can get yourself into a cafe. You can go to Vida Cafe. You just go and sit there, use their internet and their power, and have a cup of tea.
No, this is serious business, you know. you don't let anything, I mean, stand in your way.
Not at all. As for me, not at all. Hey, if this phone goes off, this phone is there. I'll still work.
Great.
And you see, for the things we do, if most of the things the computer can do, the phone can also do. I mean, not the heavy load kind of work, but there are some things that you can definitely use your phone to do. I'm always doing my social media on my phone. Some of the designs I do on Canva, I use my phone.
Wow.
So most of the things, I can do Excel on my phone.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
And if you are taking my course, you know that I always advise that you don't do your documents and your Excels and your PowerPoints on your computer directly. Do it through what's it called? The Google Suite. Okay. So if if it goes off on your PC, when you open Google Drive on your phone, it's still there. You just continue.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't lose documents. I've lost document before. A whole proposal. I was busy typing, then I like, then when it came out, it was gone because as I was working, I wasn't saving. So to prevent that and to save myself from typing one sentence, save, typing one sentence, save, I'd rather do it on Google Drive, auto saving. Yeah. So even if I do it for 100 years, when I come back, it will still be there.
Wow.
Yeah. So me, I've found my way around.
Yeah. I believe it comes with experience. I mean, you have to go through the difficult parts to get to know some of these things.
Yeah. True.
Okay, so my next question is, what type of skills does one need to have to start a virtual assistant business?
The skills are endless, my dear. Start now. We can have more than 100.
Wow.
And we will still be going. Yes. Yeah. So there are different types of virtual assistants. We have the general, who works as a general admin. Okay. We have the tech, we have the social media, we have the real estate. There are so many. There are so many. Yeah, there's so many categories that you can, if you go online and you search types of virtual assistants, you can get more than 5. Wow. Okay. So you just find yourself where your skill fits. I always say that do a skill inventory. Mm-hmm. You might see yourself as just an assistant, but for all you know, have other experiences, that you've not even used properly, or it's sitting down there dormant that you can still use. When it came to social media, yes, I did take courses at the beginning, but I did know the basic because I use social media all the time. I go on Facebook, I go on Instagram. So I had a fair idea before I took my course. So if you know that it's something you can develop, okay, then you go ahead and then you capitalize on it. So if, for example, you're someone who likes to plan your corporate events, most of the time they leave these tasks for admin assistants to do them. It might not be your strong skill to plan events, but because you've had a little bit of experience planning your end of year parties or birthday parties for your boss and all those things, you can capitalize and you can learn more, and then you'll be able to use it. So virtual assistant skills, they're endless, so long as you have the skill, let me just say, and you can offer the service virtually. Sometimes you can, maybe traditionally you can't offer it virtually, but you can find your way around it.
Okay, great.
Yeah. I mean, there are some skills that there's no way you can offer it virtually, like, being a pilot. You can't fly a plane virtually.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and then you can't wash somebody's car virtually. So if you
but most office jobs can be done virtually, so long as you have a way of coordinating with whoever you're doing the job for. I feel that you can.
But what are some of the common ones? I mean, when it comes to Ghana, what are some of the common skills that
let's start digital marketing. Okay, so if you're a marketer, the traditional marketing, it's, if you want to transition to becoming a virtual assistant, then you can capitalize on being a digital marketer. Okay. There's just a little difference when it comes to digital marketing. You just need to know how to operate the apps and softwares that goes with it. So, and you just apply your physical marketing, learn more of the apps, the social media platforms, the email marketing devices, how to set social media ads, captioning, and all those things, and then build upon it. Use that. Use your marketing skill and then build up on it. So that's one. Social media marketing or digital marketing is one of the most sought after skills. And then we have tech VAs. Okay. Tech VAs are those who are building the websites, those who are doing the Shopifys, those who are building the landing pages for our wonderful coaches. They need that a lot. Okay. Those who are setting up automation. Wow, automation is one of are looking for, so you need to learn them. You need to learn how to automate. Nobody wants to be sitting down sending emails one after the other. Okay, and to make sure that people's information are safe, it's better you use these automated emails. You know, there are lots of them out there. You can research and learn about them. And most of these apps, they do tutorials on the app. When you land there, they will give you a short tutorial how to use them. If you feel that's not enough, go on YouTube. Everybody's doing tutorial over there. You will definitely find that app's tutorial on YouTube. Watch it. You'll be able to, you know, build upon it. And the good thing about websites building these days is that they have softwares that allows you to build on templates.
Okay. Okay, like
so,
something like Wix.com, right?
Wix, yes, a lot of Ghanaians do know about Wix. There's Wix, there's Squarespace. There are so many of these platforms, so they'll just give you, even on WordPress, you have templates over there that you can build on. Okay, so if you're not too inclined in tech, you can always learn it. You can always learn it. There are people who are offering the service. You can do self tutoring by going on YouTube and, you know, learning all these things, or you can get a course, a paid course, pay for it, and then someone will teach you how to do it. So that's another sought after skill. And then business documents.
Okay.
So as an admin, a lot of us do know how to write proposals. We know how to do how do I describe this? We are good with Excel.
Letters.
Yes, we are good with Excel. We are good with Word. So we know contract writing. We know you mentioned something. Letters, you know, all those things. So it's one of the things that people look for, okay, especially people who are starting up. They don't have a full office, or they don't have people sitting down there to readily help them with these to produce these documents for them. So they look for people who are good with writing, and then they ask for their help. So yeah, so if you are good with proposals, writing company profiles, and resume writing, all those things, I mean, you can capitalize on that. Even email writing is one thing, because people are doing digital marketing. They usually look for people that are good with email copywriting, so that you can write them let's say 4-5 emails a month, and then they pay you. Some people want a whole sequence of emails, you know, with the strategy that they are using. So they will tell you, oh, write a welcome email, then write an email for people who land on my page and don't buy, write thank you email for people who buy, you know, all those things. So they'll tell you the type of email. So as you're learning, even when they come, they don't have to tell you what to write. You already know how the sequence goes, and you'll be able to that's another skill. And graphic designing.
Wow.
So people like I mean, for everything we do on the social media pages or on the digital world, you need graphics. If you're not showing a picture, you need graphics, infographics, flyers, posters, anything that goes on there, you need graphics. Even if it's just simple text, you know, it's still it has to be something graphic that people would want to read, because if you put it there plain like that, unless it's something silly, nobody will read it. So graphic design is also one thing that people look for. Also, especially for startups, when they are building their company from scratch, they are looking for people to help them with their logos, help them with their colors, help them with, you know, setting up a whole sequence of their business. They need letterhead designs, they need invoice designs, etc. I mean, and again, if you have a fair idea, you can build up on that skill and then offer it virtually. And then writing. If you're someone who likes to write, people are looking for writers. They're looking for people to write ebooks. They're looking for people to write them articles. There are people looking for people to help them with their blog. Okay. So there are lots of businesses or business owners, entrepreneurs, coaches out there that do blogs. Okay, they try to share their knowledge through the blog. So they need people to help them write them. Okay, it's not, they can't always be right. So they give you the topic, you do your research, and then you go ahead and then write them. And let me put in research here. Research is not, let's say, most sought after, because I mean, the person might want to do it themselves, but when they become overwhelmed, they look for people to help them do research work. And I mean, these skills, I would say in a month, I get inquiries for these services. So if you are someone who wants to venture into virtual assisting, these are some of the skills that you can capitalize on. We have the HR parts, but I don't really get, they will rather go to a consultant, you know. So if you say you're a HR virtual assistant, you're not going to get the traction you're looking for. So you might as well brand it as a consulting firm, you know. Okay. Then when these HR services, people just look for you to help them with the job descriptions for the new hires that they are going to be doing. They want you to help them analyze their resumes or CVs that people are submitting. They want you to do follow-ups. So maybe you're the one who's going to respond to the emails telling them that they are going for the interview here or there. So when they get overwhelmed, they look for help, but they will usually go to an HR consultant. So you might want to brand yourself that way rather than an HR virtual assistant. But yeah, it's also one of the things that people look for.
Yeah, and I believe, I mean, if somebody have you as a virtual assistant, you know, has a contract with you, and they are looking for a service like that, and I believe they discuss with you and you can handle it, how will they go to a recruitment agency?
Go somewhere else, yeah.
Based on their experience with you, they will trust you enough to be able to handle that aspect of their business for them.
Absolutely.
Okay, so now let's go into your training program.
I want to say something else.
Okay.
Oh, I was going to say that, and you need to do training with me.
Of course. Now that's what we've come to.
There
are a lot of people in the system, and when I talk to admins a lot, and they tell me they are not working, you know, I'm like, you're not working, but you know, there's this thing called virtual assisting business. Why don't you start on your own? I mean, you don't need to get somebody to employ you. You can employ yourself by, I mean, if you have the skills, why not by starting this virtual assistant business? But they always have that challenge of, where do I start? You know, they are confused as to how to start it, how to manage it, how to even find clients. And I was really happy to learn that you have a program that actually train people to become their own their business, their own virtual assistant business. So tell us a bit about this program and how it can help somebody who is looking into going into virtual assisting business.
Okay. So let me start by saying that there's this mentality that we have, that if you're not employed by someone, it means you're not working. Or if you're not sitting in somebody else's office all dressed up, you know, it means you're not working. I once witnessed someone say on the news that, he says, I sell shoes and I also do graphic design and I am unemployed. How are you unemployed?
Already you're doing 2 jobs.
So I was listening to the news. I was like, I just stopped in my track. Like, what did the guy just say? You know, how are you doing 2 jobs and then you say you're unemployed? I can say that when people want to work on their own, it becomes a bit of a challenge, because even those around them will let them know that, look, this is what you're doing is not a job. When I wanted to leave corporate, I had to get everybody involved, of course. I had to tell my mom, I had to tell my siblings, you know, and the important people in my lives. And, you know, my mom's concern was, hey, my
child has to eat.
That just was her problem, you know. She felt I was gambling with what I was doing. So I was like, no, you know, and I made her aware that, oh, I'm not just leaving. I have clients already. That is why I want to leave, because now my time is becoming limited and I don't want them more. They are the ones paying me more, so I have to sacrifice for them. So she understood.
Okay.
The course I am doing is basically to help establish you as a business. You don't see it as a side hustle. Okay. I don't want anybody. I always tell them when we start the course that this is not a side hustle. We are doing this with all our might, because at the end of the day, you will be able to quit what you're doing and then do this full time, or it will be able to pay you more than what your previous job was paying you. And it's a mentality problem.
Yeah.
So I always tell them from the start that don't see this as a side hustle. If you see it as a side hustle, you behave like it's a side. You know,
and it should be a side hustle for you.
You know, it should be a side hustle for you. And you can't tell me that you're working as a virtual assistant and still looking for a job.
Yeah.
You are working. That is a job.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So let's start from there. And then the whole course is just 8 steps. Okay. And these 8 steps are steps that I took. Okay. Things that I did. For me, I didn't get anybody to do a course for me. I learned them basically from Pinterest.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I picked bits and pieces from here, you know. I picked this from here, I picked that from here, then I put it all together and I'm like, oh, okay. So if I do this and I do that and I do that, I'll be able to. Good. Then I always say that if I show you my business plan, you will laugh. It was a piece of paper, you know, a piece of paper that I just scribbled things as I read, and that was it. That was my business plan. It was a lovely business plan. I loved it. So we start with these steps, and the steps is, you know, getting your business plan, you know, doing your skills inventory. I'm mixing it up right now, but it's fine. You know, trying to get to your portfolio, and the portfolio means that, I mean, you've worked, you have some kind of experience, and I will not say CV. That last 2 weeks, someone came into my inbox and said, can I show her my CV?
Oh, really?
And I was like, I don't have a CV. Then we had a whole lot of other conversations talking about pages. Then she came back. So if I can have a CV to look at. So I was like, okay, I don't have a CV, but I have a company profile and a portfolio. If you want to see that, I will send that to you. She's like, oh.
Yeah.
You know, I have registered my company. I'm doing my business. You're telling me CV for it.
Yeah. I mean, the person is seeing you as an individual, you know, not like a business. So.
Yes. So you see, that's one of the things that I want to achieve with my course. Like, I want you to see yourself like you are a full business.
Yeah.
You know, if so long as you walked into what's it called, Registrar General, and registered your business name, you are a business. So you are not small.
You call the shots.
Yes, you call the shots. You know, so long as you are given, when before you work with someone, you give a contract, you know, and not the other way around.
Yeah.
Then you are the one in charge, and you should see yourself as a third-party contractor rather than an employee to someone.
Yeah. So
we do all these things. We go through all these steps for you to know your standing, for you to have a business, the type of marketing you should do. In my course, someone finished one of the lessons and she was like, hey, right now I can even be a social media manager. Wow. You know, that's how in-depth the course is. And I take my time with all that because I know that you need the help. Going around to find information is quite difficult. So if somebody puts it all together for you, I feel you should take advantage of it. And when it comes to social media in the course, I took my time, and I think it's 2 lessons long with divided videos because it was that long. Okay. And that's because you are virtual. And most of your clients will come from social media.
Yeah.
And I always say that for you to get clients, you need to network. And one of the best ways to network is through social media. Okay, absolutely. As a virtual, because you don't go for physical events, you don't go to physical offices to services. You are online, okay, and most of your clients be online businesses and entrepreneurs. So I always say that you should take it seriously. So I always go in depth when it comes to marketing. The marketing itself and the social media is the same thing, just that you know how marketing is, getting your pricing, positioning yourself, your branding, all that is done categorically in the course. And then the last one that people enjoy, how to find clients and maintain them. How to find clients and maintain them. And I always say that once you've gone through the courses, and it's very practical, as you're doing the course, you're doing your assignments and all that. Once you're doing your assignments, by the time you finish, you almost be set up. Okay, so when we get to the last bit and I'm telling you that, draft an email, draft a message and send it to all the people in your contact and all the people on your social media, follow. By the time they get that message, you're already okay, you're good to go. So you have your contract ready to give them, you have your what's it called, your processes, your discovery calls, what the questions you're going to ask them. You're already registered as a company, so you can draft your contract and put your company name in there, invoicing and everything will be ready. So that's how practical the course is. And every time I say that it takes 8 weeks, and people are screaming, but but it's important. Okay, if you do one lesson, I want you to take your time, do your assignment, get it right. Just get it right. So the next time you're moving to lesson 2, lesson 3, and all that, as you're going, you're building the business. Okay, by the time you get to the very last step, you're ready to go. Okay, and I also offer a 3 weeks mentorship after the live classes and the videos that you have to watch, and then you'll be good.
I like that, and I'm so happy you've been able to put this course together, because it makes the journey shorter for anybody who wants to start their own virtual assisting business. I can understand when you started and there was nothing like that, no blueprint to follow. I know the struggle that you have to go through. I mean, even if doing your research and finding information here and there, it takes a long time. And I believe it took you a very long time to be able to be comfortable as you are now. So, I mean, you having the 8 weeks course, and as you said, you watch and then you practice. You watch and then you practice. So that's why it is that long. And so then it shortens the journey that somebody will have to take just to set up their own virtual assisting.
And then also to prevent information dump. When I was starting, the information was plenty. It was not easy consuming everything.
Except that you might even get confused.
I did. So when it came to collaborating with clients, I was like, so what do I do? Do I use this or do I use that? You're supposed to be straight with it. Like, someone would say, oh, use this, but I have to now sit down and compare pros and cons. I've already done it for you. So I have used some of these collaborative apps for so long, and I know that, okay, so this one is going to help in this one. So I've picked 1 or 2 and I've concentrated on it in the course. So it's not like I'm now coming to tell you, oh, you have the option to use this. No, I'm teaching you in the video. I'm doing a tutorial how to even use them. Okay, so we'll go through all the apps. We go through Canva, we go through Google Drive, we go through my favorite preview. We will go through all of it. So we'll go through all of it. Like, it's like a whole video tutorial of how to use the apps. It's not like I'm telling you there's the name of the app and then you have to go and learn how to use it. So I've really made it easier for you to be able to understand the whole journey of being a virtual assistant in one course.
Okay, so where can one find this course if somebody is interested in buying this?
So because it's a one-on-one, I always like that people reach out to me, and then have a discussion, yes.
Okay.
And no, the price is not different for anyone. It's the same for everybody.
Whether you're a Ghanaian or you are not a Ghanaian.
It's the same for everyone. It's the same for everyone. So you just come to me. Sometimes I like to have that personal conversation with you so that you understand the investment you're going to make. Okay. I can put up a landing page and throw all the information on there. But I don't want it that way. And I always say that it's not everybody that this course is for.
Okay.
And I like that I have the conversation with people before they sign up or pay for anything, because I remember that someone came to me, and I think I've mentioned it in this conversation. She was asking for ready to go clients. So like, so when I finished the course, like, yeah, my where's my first client? My client, where's my client? I was like, oh, so and also online on Facebook or something like that. I think one of the platforms gave me the opportunity to talk to their members if they wanted to have. So one was like, oh, I'm interested. And then I was like, okay, so you just send me a message. Okay. When she came, she thought that she was not coming to do a course. She was coming for clients, like straight away. Because so when she came, she was like, oh, so I know how to do translation. So yeah, so you can recommend me. You can recommend someone. You can recommend me to a client. I'm like, oh, it's a course, So if I had not done something like that, and I just direct them to a website to go and read and then pay, she will finish paying and then now come and say, I need a refund. She has scammed me, this and that. So to avoid all that, you reach out to me on WhatsApp. Me, I like texting a lot. I don't like phone calls.
Okay. So text on WhatsApp, right? So then we'll okay, so we can put she assists WhatsApp number, okay, along with this, right? Wherever we post it.
So that and you can also include my what's it called? My Instagram page. The She Assists GH. Yes, I'll text it to you. And I am always almost on Instagram. So when I get the message, I'll attend. Yeah.
So either Instagram or WhatsApp, right? Okay.
Yes.
We'll put the link.
They shouldn't call, though. They shouldn't. The call is. I always have every time I say this, people don't understand. I prefer text to call because call interrupts my work. I just mentioned that I do almost everything on my phone. So imagine whilst in the middle of posting, then bam, a phone call comes through.
It just stops you.
It just distorts, it distorts my thoughts. I'm like, oh, what was I doing? Sometimes I finish the call and I forget that I was making a post. Then I'll be there and then my phone will give me a notification like, didn't I make this post? I'll go there and I realize that it was interrupted.
You have notifications.
Yeah, I know. That's one for my reminders. So yeah.
Okay,
that's why.
Great, wonderful. I believe wherever we post this video, I believe some people will give you test you to express their interest in the course. And I like the fact that you are not just interested in making money out of this course, but ensuring that whoever join this course gets value for their money. So you want to interact with them first to know if they're right fit for the course. Okay, I was thinking it was on a platform where people can easily go and access it and then make their payments and they start their journey like that. But I like the fact that you.
I have other courses. That's one. For what's it called? Learning how to run Facebook and Instagram ads. That one is a free. I'm so sorry. Did I say free? Hey, that one is a course that everyone can just go on my Instagram, click on the website, make payments and everything. But for starting the VA 101 course, it's quite how do I put it? The investment is quite high, so I wouldn't want anybody to be wasting their money. So we have to have that conversation to make sure the cost is for you before we start. And also, I want to know your commitment level, because in the past I've had people that took the course and did not go ahead. They still look for jobs. So I want to also know your commitment level so that be able to determine if you get that.
Okay, right. Thank you so much for letting us know that. Now, another question I have for you is, what kind of advice would you give to somebody aspiring to be a virtual assistant?
I would say go for it.
Okay. Great.
Go for it. You know, starting a business or starting any business at all is not easy.
Yeah.
You know, if anybody comes to tell you that, look, if you start this business now, in the next 1 month, you're making this amount of money. I mean, all those talk is fine, it's good for them. But I would say that you need to be ready, like be tough, you know. You mentioned that you are the one who is calling the shots, and I like that. That's why, you really need to be tough, because it's like you jumping into an ocean and you can't swim. Hey, you're drowning with that.
Yeah.
You know, and there are some stubborn customers. Okay, they are stubborn. I mean, they are great. They are good. I mean, the two of you are working together just fine, but they're still stubborn in a way that you tell them, oh, let's do this and this for it to work. Then they just, you know, change the whole strategy that you've given them, do something different.
Yeah.
Okay. So it becomes a bit of a problem. You write a proposal for someone, you know that, okay, in the past, this is what you've written and it has worked. It was able to get the people contracts and all that. You send it to the person. Then you follow up and say, oh, did you send the proposal? What was the outcome? And like, oh, I made some changes in the proposal. And be like, oh my goodness. You know?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, then they will tell you, oh, I took out the statistics. I'm like, that is good information.
Yeah.
You know, or someone will say, I took out the pricing. I'm like, you don't take out pricing from it. But you let people know.
No, of course.
It's going to cost them for them to decide. So some people can be like that. If you're lucky, you get clients that they know what they are doing already. They already have their plan, they have layout. So when you get a client like that, it's so good. They just ship everything to you and then you just pick what you need, you know, to help them out of it. But if you also get a client that really does not know what they're doing, then you have to know. If you don't know, you can't help another person. Okay, so you have to constantly be learning. I'm not a coach, but I can be a coach, I tell you.
I can be a coach. You have the experience. I mean, that's all that you need to be a coach. You don't need to get a certificate to be a coach. So you are a coach, actually.
I have learned so much in the coaching industry that I can literally certify myself as a coach.
In fact, you do. I will encourage you to add that as I mean, you do coaching even with your training. After the training, they come for coaching. So why not? You are a coach. You don't need to be certified to be a coach. And then as you are saying, you work with coaches, so I'm sure you've really learned a lot from them.
So much. I have to constantly be learning, updating myself in their industry, you know, and get new trends that are coming up in their industry to be able to help them. Okay. Sometimes there's this client that I have, she'll be like, oh, as for Mavis, when I tell her about something, she just jumps on it. The next minute she's giving me information. You know, you just come and say, oh, I heard something about on LinkedIn. Then the next thing you know, I'm curious. I'm over there, session like, oh, this and this is what I was like, oh, you can add this, you can do this. I'm like, oh, you know, so that's how you have to be as a VA. You have to constantly be learning. Okay. And another thing is that it just communicate with your clients. Okay. Some clients can be difficult, but some of them, all they need is for you to tell them. You know, just talk to them. If you know you can't deliver at this time, don't go and say you can deliver tomorrow, and then the tomorrow comes and it's not there. You know, I always try to give a 48-hour window. So if you give me something to do, I know I am busy today. I'm like, okay, so you give me up to, let's say, today is what, Wednesday, right? I say give me up to Friday. If I know I can't do Friday, I'm like, okay, give me up to Monday, because I've stopped working on weekends. So I tell you, give me up to Monday on Tuesday. Just make sure that you are giving them the time for delivery that you yourself will not be found wanting. Don't just get the job and say, oh, tomorrow I'll send it. Oh, in the evening I'll send it. Don't be too known like that. So I always say you have to have your systems and procedures. It's actually one of the steps in my course. You have to have the systems and procedures. And I will give an example. Like I was having a conversation with a gentleman, and he was jumping. I don't know. He wanted to say something that he needed. So I was like, oh no, hold on, don't jump. This is the process I take. You're not going to change my process for me, because I've used it over and over, and then it works. And I always say systems and procedures, because if you do things anyhow, you're going to get anyhow results. That's just how the world is. Okay. So you need to know, step 1, I'm having a conversation with them. Step 2, I'm sending them packages, or maybe they already saw your packages somewhere and they came, or someone recommended and they came. So they have a fair idea what your packages are. So what you can do is first send them the packages, let them see. Then you make sure, but whatever you do, make sure that you're having a conversation with them before anything starts. Okay, get to know their brand, get to know them, let them give you resources. If it's websites you have to go to, you go there. If it's social media you have to go there. Make sure you are gathering information about the potential client you're about to have. Then the next one is that if you make an agreement on the package they want, send them a contract. It's very important. See, that contract has saved me a whole lot of headache. Okay, we say A and B. You don't come back and tell me that I said C and D. No. Here's the contract. Here's the proof. A and B. Okay. Okay. That way they can't be giving you 2 tasks and then later you realize they are doing 5. Okay. So you have somewhere to refer them to. Okay, so draft your contract nicely. Make sure they understand how you're going to work together. So what app are you going to collaborate on? People like Asana, go to Asana. People like Slack, go to Slack. You need to learn all these things. So it's not an easy job. But yeah, if you don't know it in depth, you need to know these things. You need to know these. It's if they say they're going to put the tax on Google Tax for you, learn how to use Google Tax, Google Keep, and learn how to use Google Keep. All these things you have to learn how to at least have a fair idea how to. After you have determined what apps and softwares are going to collaborate, and then as I mentioned, communication is very important. So how are you going to instantly communicate? Is it phone call? Is it WhatsApp? Is it Telegram? Is it your social media platforms? Whatever it is, make sure you establish that. I like WhatsApp because it's easier, it's faster. Even for my foreign clients, I like it. So yes, so I mean, you can have the collaborative apps like the Google Drives, the Asanas, whatever else, but for something, if you need them and their attention quickly, how else? Like you can't just say, oh, I dropped it in the Asana and what do I do? They might go and check, but it might be too late. So make sure you have also an instant way of communicating. And then once you're done, you can get how you do your work delivery. Okay, so I will always say that I like to use my Google Drive because it helps me to organize all the documents, the folders, everything. Even if I'm doing social media for you, we are still using Google Drive because that's where the content will first be before it ends up on your social media platform. And I like it because whilst I am typing, if you're available, you can also be online. Okay. So most of the time, let's say we are having a Zoom conversation like this, and then we are working also on the Google Drive. So whilst I'm making changes, you're also making changes. We are all seeing what each other is doing. So it makes the workflow so easy. Okay. I like to have my social media meetings on Fridays. Okay. So that we can get the following week's content, confirmed and everything. And it's just 30 minutes because I've already done everything. You're just going through to confirm. You're looking at the graphic, you're looking at the caption, you're looking at hashtags, you're looking at everything. So sometimes they were like, okay, let's change this one. We remove it. We put this one there. Sometimes I don't even do the typing. I'll just be nodding my head. It'll be typing, but I see what they are doing right there. So if they're doing that, I can also chip in. And then I chip in. Makes the communication very, very easy. And someone would say that, so that means I have to be tech savvy and all those things.
In fact, I was actually going to mention that it looks like from all that you are saying, if you are not tech savvy, you cannot be a virtual assistant.
I mean, how will you? Because if you don't know.
Because I mean, you need to know how to use these collaborative tools to be able to make things.
If you are working in the office, Even some businesses use softwares to collaborate in their office.
Yeah.
When you go to the banking hall, they use all these banking softwares to collaborate with each other. You know, you are here doing your job, but your what's it called? Your operations manager is seeing the transaction that you have a fair idea how to use the computer anyway, because you are an admin assistant. Computer is one of your favorite tools, whether you like it or not. You know, you're sending emails. I always say Google Drive. People don't even notice it, that so long as you have a Gmail account, you have a Google Drive. It comes with it. Yes, so it's not that difficult to use. You can play with it. You can just go on your, when you go to Gmail, on the top right, you see all these dots over there. Click on it. You see your Google Drive drop down. Click on that. Just play with it. Let's play with it. It's not something difficult. They made it pretty easy. So that we can all learn how to use it. So,
as you are saying, we all use, different platforms in our various organizations. So sometimes when you hear this and it's not something that you use in your office, you think it's
difficult
you can't figure out. But as you are saying, it's the same thing. It's just that it has a different name and it has a different So I remember there's this assistant who says if he can never take a job where he will be forced to use Microsoft because he's used to Google Sheets. So if you give him an employment,
you should have an idea about almost everything. Like have a little bit of idea about.
You don't know which one your clients may be used to and all that.
So true.
It's been wonderful chatting with you, and I've really learned a lot, and I believe whoever will watch this video will also get to learn a lot. I was going to ask you about how to get in touch with you, but you've already shared that with us. You prefer WhatsApp and then Instagram, so I'm going to share those information along with this video wherever I post it. So I'll say thank you very much for making time for this wonderful conversation, and I believe you'll have people sending you messages to join your program very soon.